Lost my mind, now I'm feeling so fine, cause I finally realized I don't need you. I'm feeling sublime, and you're watching me shine, and you realize it's time I don't need you. Now
Welcome to another episode of Resources in the Valley.
where you get your tools to make the most out of every day.
Hey, Imani, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Today's day 15 of the gym. So that's never happened in the history of ever. Pretty excited.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. How do you feel?
I feel great. Today it was like the midday, and I know normal Imani would dive into bed and want to take a nap with the kids, and I actually felt energized. Um, and also, I've been looking forward to our podcast, and because I wanted to show you something.
Okay. I'm going to beat you and congratulations.
That is funny.
Oh, congratulations. I'm so excited.
I wanted to have your reaction recorded.
I already knew Nick was a winner, but we're not even going to go there. Matter of fact, this is for Nick. So when you watch this episode, I knew from the beginning, okay? I said, I know who this guy is. But he seems like he might be a keeper.
My face hurts.
You can blush. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Like, yeah. So how was your week? How have you been?
My week was great. Honestly, my week has been great. We are preparing for Father's Day weekend is this weekend. Juneteenth is now a national holiday. That's Monday. So we have Monday Father's Day, Monday's Juneteenth, Sunday's Father's Day. And Brooke loves to host Father's Day cookouts because one thing about me is I just believe that good fathers need to be rewarded and they need to be recognized and they need to be shown appreciation. So I host the Father's Day cookout. I can't say every year, but this would be the 12th year. My first Father's Day cookout was in 2011 when I had my second son. And I started hosting Father's Day cookouts every year for the guys, for my kids' fathers, and for my guys that are friends. And, it's people that I know that are great dads. And I just believe that they need to be recognized. I believe that there's always a negative tone on Black men as far as being fathers. And I believe actually that I've run into more that are actually great than the latter. So that's one thing that I'm doing this weekend. I was just prepping and cooking and getting ready for that, and that's it. Getting ready for summer. How's your summer starting off? You are already on summer break. So how's that going?
Yeah, summer break has been really good. I feel like in light of our episode, I started off this summer with my list and my post-its and all the things I was going to do for my side hustles for the summer because it's such a great way to just jumpstart that thing without the pressure of, making $1 million in the split second. And I don't know what happened. Um, I've been realizing that I need to do things in an organized way, because if you Google side hustle, it's 8,000 results. And then you're like, what do I do? So the summer break has been really good. I've been balancing quality time and fun with doing some research, because you do have to do that, and then just narrowing things down to what seems more up my alley. Not everything's for everyone. Like Rover, I'm not walking your dog. So I think that was helpful too, because you want to sign up for everything and then you think about it. Picture you doing that. Is that a yes? Is that likely? So that's kind of how my summer's been. What about you, Brooke?
Well, I'm gearing up for summer. This is the last couple of days of school up here in Jersey, so we are finishing out this week, and we have a couple more days next week, and all my babies will be done. And then we got some summer fun plans and ready to go. I'm happy that you though brought up planning, because summertime for me personally is my downtime. So chauffeur kids is downtime. Um, Blaine Car is really never downtime, but things do tend to slow down because people are going on vacation and they don't want to handle their responsibilities. Unfortunately, sometimes I have to pull out the whip, but but yeah. So things slow down in the summertime too. However, downtime is what I call R&D, research and development. And that's because you have to put in that R&D time to expand your company, to take your company to another level or to the next level, or open another branch or open another brand, offer another service, product, etc. That's the time that you should really use to do your R&D. So today I was actually able to post a driver's ad for Chauffeur Kids, and I'm going to do some more social media and some marketing things over the summer to kind of get things ready and in position for the upcoming school year, because hopefully the plan is to open up another territory this school year. So this episode is part 2 of Side Hustles. Last episode, we started talking about side hustles. We discussed all the apps and all the different applications and options that are out there. And this episode, we wanted to continue that conversation. But I just want to get into the piece of, well, there is a lot of resources out there. Okay. I believe with social media and technology and just internet and things like that, there are way more resources than we have had access to in my lifetime. You have a lot of platforms where people are teaching things. You do have platforms, universities, or course programs where there are different courses. One of my favorites is Earn Your Leisure. I will always talk about Earn Your Leisure. I love Earn Your Leisure. They came out in 2019? I think I started around episode 19 or 20. And once I wasn't into the sports thing, because I'm sports, but I'm not that hard on sports. But I did like to hear what a lot of the sports and the entertainers were doing as far as other businesses, because people focus, or they tend to put a focus on, oh, become a sport, become a basketball player, become a football player, become this, become that. But these guys that are really substantial, entertainers and athletes, they have other businesses. Their money does not only come from sports. And if it did, they probably wouldn't be where they are right now in life. So it was an eye-opener, and just from what they wanted to do and like shine light on different things that people do, they have really created this excellent platform in which there is a lot of available knowledge. Yes, I am a earner. I am part of their platform. I do subscribe to their platform. I do have access to their courses. I have not been able to take a course yet because my life is a little hectic. But I do plan on taking at least one course this summer to figure out how, whatever that course is, how I can incorporate it in expanding my business. And the reason why I bring this up is because as an accountant, I get a lot of phone calls. I saw a video or I saw a post. That video, that post has a limited amount of time on it. It cannot thoroughly explain to you what needs to be done. It can summarize to you what needs to be done. It cannot thoroughly explain to you what needs to be done. So the information that's out there on social media is great to create a spark, but I would like to start seeing people say, let me learn some more about that. Let me read a book about that. Let me find out what all of the steps are in order to do that. Let me find out what I have to do. One that I've heard a lot is I don't want my LLC to be under my EIN. And you know what I asked them? Oh, great. Do you have a trust? And how many people you know got trust set up?
0.
Exactly. Okay? Now, the thing is yes, you can do that. You can put your LLC under a name that won't be under your Social Security. However, you have to have a trust set up. Okay? You have to have a trust. Under the trust, and you have to have a holding company. Then the business under it. There are steps to this process, okay? And there's steps to all processes, and there's steps to everything that you do. If we told the kids, when the babies get up and they start walking, what's the first thing they do? They fall flat on their face because they haven't followed the steps to balancing first before they can actually walk. So this is just like things that as you all start your side hustles, as you might take this downtime in the summertime to figure out, what is it that I do? What is it that I love? Take a course. Invest in yourself. $100 to $200 to invest into yourself for a class is nothing. Okay? $5,000 to $6,000 is a little bit much, but find something where you can find out for cheap, less than $500. I guarantee you eat more than $500 of fast food every year. I guarantee it. Everybody. So take that money and invest it in yourself. Learn something that you want to do and do the research so then that way that jump is a grounded jump instead of a flying jump. Thoughts, Imani?
Yes, I wanted you to stay on your soapbox a little while longer because I think that's such a great point. When one thing that we talked about in the previous episode was just how side hustles, the idea of side hustles is a trending idea, but when you take snippets of information or even you get this emotional high from watching someone show you their receipts from wherever, a lot of things these days are clickbait. A lot of people that just kind of pop up and they're a happy millionaire. It's like, all right, well, let me see your track record, So I do think that that it's just very important to do that due diligence. And I saw this post today on social media, and I feel like social media does have some good gems. And it just said that there is no end to the value that you can receive from having a mentor or purchasing your mentor's books and listening to the content that they share, those who have a trusted track record for you. And they were talking about how that is immensely more valuable than people who seemingly pop up overnight, and even more valuable than AI, which is just regurgitating information that's already out there. So I definitely agree with you about the doing your due diligence. And I think something that I always talk about almost every episode is just, where are you in your life? Like, do you have the mental capacity, the emotional capacity, the physical capacity, the financial capacity to do what it is that you want to do? Because again, going back to that emotional high, emotionally, I feel like I'm always here, okay? As far as what I want to do, my desire is always here. But it surprises me when I take inventory and realize I'm actually mentally depleted. Like, I haven't come down from the stress of my work or from the stress of my day or from whatever it is. And so I do think that it's possible to, I like the saying, two things can be true at the same time. So I think it's possible to be super, super tired and super, super productive if you schedule it the right way, and if you're organized, if you have that network around you, etc. But I also think that when you're faced with so many people living their dreams all the time, or it seems that way, you can just easily feel like a failure, Like, I'm not on a yacht right now. Should I be? Like, is that the win? I don't know. And, you rarely see people just like chilling at home, it feels like. So, just knowing where you're at and having that plan in place to get you where you'd like to be without losing yourself in your pursuit for your passion projects and your side hustles and things like that is something that is really, really important. Take it from somebody who's burned out. Kids talking. But take it from somebody who's been burned out trying to pursue greatness without taking that into account.
And I will just say, I'm happy that you brought up the mental capacity. So, mental capacity is very, 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 very important. Not only is it important for the fact of running your business, but it's also very important in the fact of making sound decisions. You cannot make decisions out of emotions when you are dealing with business. Okay? You have to make decisions out of calculated, well thought out logic and reason. And the thing is many people like to move with emotion. And unfortunately, in business, there is no room for emotion. Okay? We all will get in our feelings about certain things. And it is up to you to be able to identify when you get into your feelings. There's personal, okay, feelings, and sometimes we need to step back and say, is this personal or is it not personal? Does this thinking make sense? Will we want somebody to put this kind of thinking on us or no? And also, does this thinking benefit me? And how does it benefit me? At the end of the day, we are doing business to make money. Okay? If it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. Okay? So that means whatever you're doing, okay, it can be something that starts here that has nothing to do with a direct sale. Okay? However, if what you're doing here is going to start the domino effect to not make that direct sale, then you don't need to be doing it. Okay? If it's not something that's going to streamline you into more sales, more engagement, more visibility, more marketing, if it's not doing something that is bringing more to your company, then it might need something. It might be something that is actually emotional to you. And unfortunately, not all of us tend to recognize when we make those emotional decisions versus that calculated decision as to how to deal with things. Once again, I have been in business for over 23 years. Okay. And through those up and downs, I've learned a lot. I did not start my business yesterday. I did not start last year. I did not start 5 years ago. On top of starting 23 years ago, I've been in the accounting field for over 30 years. Okay. So this isn't something that I just sprung up and said, oh, I'm good at it. I'm gonna teach somebody how to do it. Somebody told me recently, actually, they told me that I could do makeup. Now, Imani, how long have you been seeing me put on makeup?
Like 6 to 8 months, maybe? Reaching?
This goes to show you that even though somebody tells you that you've done a great job and that you're so good that you can do it on somebody else, does not mean that you should be doing it on nobody else. I am not a makeup girl. I am not a girly girl. I am not contouring anybody's face. So don't get me wrong. I will contour, okay? I have learned. But catch me 10 years ago. They didn't see a lick of makeup on this face. I don't even know if you see lip gloss. Not a lick. So, just because somebody says that you're good at something doesn't mean that that's where you should be channeling your business. However, we do want you to get into a side hustle. We do want you to expand your income. We do want you to create those 7 streams of good income. 7 good streams of income. I have more than 7 streams of income. They are not good streams. We're working on them to be good streams. Honesty is the best policy, I'm telling you. 7 great streams of income is going to get you where you want to be or where your goal is. If that's your goal, it might not be your goal. But if you're watching our show, 9 times out of 10, you have a goal to expand your company or do something for yourself other than 9 to 5.
Absolutely. I was going to add on to what you have said. And we've all experienced secondhand embarrassment when we're watching American Idol. And they'll always interview beforehand. My mama said I got the best voice on this side of town, and my friends encouraged me. They drove me here, actually. And then you proceed to hear the person sing, and you're like, they don't have true friends. They don't, because somebody should have told you that this wasn't a good idea, But again, it's that emotional high, it's the potential, I want my name in light type ordeal. And it's just very important to, like Rick said, not just have good feedback from people, but get that raw, honest feedback, and also be willing to do the work. Like she said, if that means taking a class, that means getting some training. Every person who is successful takes the time to fine-tune what it is that they do. They don't just wake up, walk out, and walk on national television on the news and say, yes, I'm an amazing master of my craft, or master of what it is I do. So I just think that is so critical. Something I wanted to bring up as well, just on the side, on another side hustle kind of thing, is that planning is also important because you can look up and see you're in the same place you were like 6 months ago or worse off. So, for example, if I release a song and I make royalties, but I don't have any plan for what am I going to do with that extra income? If you're anything like me, that means Target runs, pulling up at Starbucks, like, hey, Sarah, yes, I would like a venti today. And so sometimes, like, using your extra income in a way that's not to your advantage can hurt you, Some people get go crazy with the whole business loans thing. I found out if I had a DUNS number in the EIN, I can get $25,000, and it's awesome for those who need to use it and have a plan to use it well. But for your average person that probably has never touched that money before, had access to it before, planning is very, very important. I saw Brooke almost fall out of her chair. So did you want to say something about, everyone running to such and such bank and credit union for funding?
Planning is very, 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 very important. As an accountant, I do taxes. I am an accountant that specializes in taxes. Okay, I specialize in taxes and I specialize in small business accounting. My parents specialize in actuarial accounting, which is also known as ministerial accounting, if you're not familiar with that word. However, planning, tax planning, money planning. I also work for a pretty large company, and I get some crazy questions after the fact because they have not planned. Okay. If you are making good income, there's a point where, number one, you're going to need to have an accountant. Okay. That accountant, you need to pay them. They need to help you plan for your taxes at the end of the year. If you know that you have not paid the taxes that you need to pay to the government and you're making good income, you need to get with an accountant and do some tax planning. There are things that you can invest in. There are things you can purchase. There are ways that you can move your money that will reduce your tax liability. An accountant or a financial planner, sometimes some financial planners do it too, can assist you with this. Okay? Yes, there are a lot of financial planners and accountants out there, and some people are credentialed and some people aren't. And what I will say is, credentialed or not, scale. Know what you pay for. Make sure you get that and more out of it. If you are not getting that and more out of it, you may need to find another provider. Tough, but it's the truth. You should be really getting something out of it. You have an accountant, they should be helping you financially. They should be helping you plan financially. Okay, they should be helping you. How are you going to put certain money away and do things for the future? Okay, when you get ready to make big purchases, you should be discussing it with your accountant. How is this going to affect my taxes next year? There's a lot of different things that we do, but when it comes to business and side hustles in particular, people with side hustles also have a 9 to 5. So you have main income and now you have side income. Great. Now you are doing a great thing. Most of your tax deductions are in that Schedule C. Okay, so you now created an avenue where you are able to take more deductions. But we don't need to lie. We don't need to make deductions up. We don't need to do a false thing. We need to capture what we spend and just be real about it and not say, oh no, that is for business, because you could not run your business without it. Or you needed that to run your business, or it helped you run your business. So, first of all, honesty is the best policy. Tracking is very important. And having some sort of financial planning, tax planning, something to do with the money. Do not get a loan if you do not know how you are going to spend the money. Do not get a loan to pay off debt. And I'm sure I said this before on many of the episodes. Do not create more debt. You're still gaining interest on that debt. Probably more interest on the debt. So don't do it. Get a loan to create more income, so then that way you can get rid of your debt.
reach that. And also people are being encouraged. Like one thing I have done, I should give myself more credit. One thing I have done is whenever I see all these little invites for classes, because everybody teaches class all of a sudden, I take it. I sign up for it, and I got nothing but time, so I've taken new classes from strangers. I don't really know, but they've been interesting just to get more than like a 30-second bite, a 30-second clip on how people do the things that they do. But it was alarming to see that people are being encouraged to, run to their local bank and to go ahead and take out loans. So it's like, if you have no product and you have never made any money and you want to take a loan for $50,000, or it's a business credit card for $50,000, but you haven't listened to Brooke's podcast on money management and what to do during tax time and everything else. It's like, just the fact that most Americans are head over heels already in debt, and people sometimes can look at business opportunities as just an easy way into deeper debt. It just can be very scary, for sure. So definitely take heed to the advice she just gave you on how you can utilize those resources that you see. And on how to get rich on Netflix, the host talked to a woman named Natalie, and she was very wealthy because of her family, but she had an estate manager that was taking 3% of everything that she was making. She was making a lot. And the host, I think I mispronounced his name, is very sad. Ramit Sethi was saying, if you want to give them a dollar amount or a flat fee, go ahead and do that. The percentage is ridiculous. Stop giving them a percentage. And he did everything. He begged. He wrote out a spreadsheet. He did everything to try to get her to stop. And she just kept saying, well, as long as they can manage all of that for me, I don't really care about the percentage. Like, I make enough money that I don't care about the percentage. But he was saying, sometimes people that are put in place to help you manage your money, you get ripped off by choosing percentage, because the more you make, the more they take. He was like, I could even teach you how to manage it yourself. But so that just goes to show you as well, just being very, very careful about the team of people around you. It's pretty important as well.
No, that's so true. That is so true. The team of people around you are very important, and the people around you need to be trustworthy. They need to be trustworthy. You all need to have some sort of relationship. They don't have to be your best friends, but you need to have some sort of mutual respect for each other, in which you all can build a foundation to be successful. Just like Imani said, no percentage. No percentages. I get that question all the time about taxes. What is the percentage that you charge? Percentage of what? Of your refund? That has nothing to do with me preparing your taxes? It's a numbers game, but it's not a numbers game in the fashion where I am increasing your refund, so I charge a percentage because I'm increasing. I'm putting the information that you're in, and I'm making sure that we account for all of your information properly. That's the proper way to provide financial support. There's just a lot of different things, and get those classes. One of the things that Imani said, she said a lot of them are free. Honestly, taking a free class from somebody, I actually prefer to do first, because I want to see how many gems and jewels I can get out of your free class before I decide to pay you. Okay? And if you can't get anything out the free class, then you're not going to get much out of the paid class. So like there still has to be something that somebody is going to give you in the free class that will allow you to then go ahead and do the fully paid class. Also, that free class or that tidbit or that little hour information might also show you if that person is a good person for you to learn from. That might not be a good person for you to learn from. Me in particular, I need a full class. I need videos, I need classwork, I need discussions, I need reading material. Anytime I see a class that does not have reading material, I like cringe because I don't understand how there could be a class without reading material. But that's neither here nor there. What works for each person is different. However, just make sure it's what works for you.
Absolutely. The last thing I was going to say was just that, you know, when you start your side hustle, whatever you decide to choose, you can start by putting it toward something maybe your current income doesn't allow you to put toward. So I really love Dasha, the financial activist from at Broke Black Girl on Instagram. She always shares a saving or investing fund, and she does it all throughout the year. And it gets me so excited because sometimes she'll do it like right before Christmas, you know, or right before the summer, or right after the New Year. And she has one post on how to save $1,000 for the year. Most people look at that and go, she doesn't know what my bank account looks like. But she'll break it down, and it'll be things like $30 in January, $70 in February, $80 in March, and she'll continue to break it down. You know, there are a few months out of the year where we get paid 3 times, so you know she'll divvy that up as well. And so sometimes when we start a side hustle, you need a goal. Maybe create that savings goal. Maybe create that investing goal. Make it so that you kind of build your financial capacity to be able to do more. You can then invest back into your business. You can invest into ways to grow it. You can invest in an intern. You can invest in a team using Fiverr, Upwork. You can do so many different things, and using it will help you to eventually get to that point. Because Brooke and I aren't knocking your side hustle becoming your main thing. You know, we think that that's awesome. We celebrate you. We'll be jumping up and down, screaming, excited for you. It's just that sometimes people want to wake up and be that tomorrow. We want to be that girl by tomorrow. And some of my favorite posts are, this is 10 years in the making, 20 years in the making. So we're showing you the blueprint for how to be in the making so that you can get to that point.
Yes, I love that. That is very true. The time invested matters. And the reason why we're doing this episode on side hustles is because we want you all to create some sort of side income for yourself, some extra income. However, you want a car? Find a business, create an income that's going to pay for that car. You want to go on vacation? Create an income that's going to pay for that vacation. When you do these things, your disposable income, or your income as far as like what's still going into savings, is still going into savings. So you're not pulling down to go on vacation. You're not pulling out of your income to go on vacation, or out of your savings to go on vacation. You've created another income. And because you have this other income, you know what? We're going to go on vacation. Now we have another income to go on vacation with. So, you know, these are the things to try to do when you all decide that you are going to do a side hustle. We do only have about one or two more episodes this year. We will have someone come and talk about the travel agency. I might actually record the episode tomorrow. Um, and we have somebody that's going to come talk about our travel agency. And I might try to get one more guest on before the end of the year. But we really want to discuss with other business owners what they're doing, what works, what fails, what to avoid. So then that way, hopefully, you all don't have to go through the things that we go through. There will always be mistakes to be made, and there will all be lessons to be learned. However, if we can be a bridge to avoid some of the things, then that's what we would like to do for you.
I love that. A bridge. And I think both of us can attest to wishing that we had that. Like somebody help me get from here to there without me struggling the whole time. Please. All right. And so with that, I hope our call to action has come across here with just taking inventory of what you're passionate about. Picture yourself actually in that thing. Can you walk a dog? Can you fish sit? I've been fish sitting. It's not for the weak. So just picturing yourself there, finding those free resources, finding those mentors. One of my favorite things someone ever said was, you could pay to have me mentor you, but that costs tens of thousands of dollars. But you could buy my book from Barnes & Noble for $29.95. So, go ahead and use the resources that your mentors are already putting out there. And let us know in the comments how it goes.
I will say the same thing. I will write your business plan for over $1,000. However, you can buy my book, Your Guide to Level Up and Starting Your Business, for $20, available on Barnes & Noble and Amazon.
Like, everybody heard that price. It was like, maybe I like the DIY option.
$1,000. Oh my God! I just did a business plan for $3,500. Depends on what the business plan is for.
Look at God. Won't you do it?
That's okay.
Look, drinks on you when we link up.
That's right. I will look. I have no problem. I will do that business plan. I will work that business plan. However, I do have a guide. It's called Your Guide to Starting Your Own Business. There's a Marie Blade, and it is only $20.
If you needed a wake-up call or real life example, there it is.
There it is. There it is.
And you could use your side hustle to work your way up to saving $1,000 so you can actually have Brooke help you. All right, and with that, we're wishing all of you beautiful angels a blessed and productive week.
And remember, you will get through this valley.
Guidance given
too.
during this
Have a great
program
one.
are only reflections of our personal experiences and is not a substitute for professional advice. Change is your choice.
Let me breathe, cause I need him. Stay faithful, not hateful. I'm playful, cause he got me. He called me his angel. I'm flying to heaven. Just know that he sent me from heaven to flex you.